First off, I want to say over the last several years, I've been working with attorneys general from around the country on the opioid epidemic. We've been approaching it from litigation standpoint, obviously bringing suits against manufacturers, distributors, and other outlets that are pouring drugs into our communities and violating federal and state laws to do so. But however, the first line of defense, or the front line of defense, is the people who are using the drugs, and most importantly, when you're finished using the drug, you don't want to keep it around. What we have learned is that a lot of, I think 80% of heroin users who are addicts basically went through the gateway of using prescription drugs. That was a startling statistic to me. I think last year, or last October rather, we collected about 12,000 pounds of expired, unused, or unwanted prescription drugs when we did the drop-off take-back day in October of this past year. Nationally, during the pandemic, there were about 83,000 Americans who died of drug overdoses during the one-year period ending on July of last summer. So those are startling statistics, and we all have to do our part. So if you have a prescription that you're no longer using, you need to take personal responsibility for it. Don't leave it in your medicine cabinet. Don't leave it laying out. Obviously, you hear anecdotal stories of young people, teenagers, or even older people having pill parties where they can, just go and use those unused opiate prescriptions, and that's how people end up ODing on it. So every day really is a take-back day, not just twice a year. But if you go to takebackday.dea.gov, takebackday.dea.gov, I did it on my cell phone just outside this building a few minutes ago, and it tells you all the locations. You can plug in your hometown or your zip code. It tells you all the drop-off areas within a 20, 30, 40-mile radius of where you are. So it's very easy to use. You can do it on your phone, your home computer. Look it up. Tomorrow, I believe between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., you have an opportunity to go to those locations and drop off your prescription medication, your unused, or your vaping tool, so long as there aren't batteries in there, like vaping cartridges or vaping devices. You can drop those off as well. But you can drop them off in these containers so they can be disposed of properly. Again, just dropping them in the toilet or the sink, they recommend not doing that. Don't throw them away in the trash. Obviously, you want to give them to someone who can properly dispose of them, and you certainly want to keep them stored in your medicine cabinet. Again, having worked on this issue for the last several years, we've seen this epidemic. We've seen how it's hurt our communities and our states. And again, we can go after people who violate the law on the corporate end, but it's really at the person end, at the patient end, where people are storing those unused prescription medications. That's where we also need to be addressing this issue. So I would encourage you to take your unused prescription medications to a location near you, whether it's at the sheriff's office here or Lexington or elsewhere. You can look it up at takebackday.dea.gov and drop them off at a location near your home. Thank you.